All right, guys. Today we're gonna be reacting to Byron Donalds, um, questioning Kamala Harris with this guy from, I think it's MSNBC or ABC, actually ABC. Let's see what's going on here.
Congressman and Trump ally Byron Donalds. Congressman, thank you for joining us this morning. Why is former President Trump questioning the vice president's racial identity?
Well, first, George, in Chicago, he was responding to a question from, I believe, Rachel Scott. Like, this is really a phony controversy. I don't really care. Most people don't. But if we're going to be accurate, when Kamala Harris went into the United States Senate, it was AP that said she was the first Indian American United States Senator. It was actually played up a lot when she came into the Senate. Now she's running nationally. Obviously, the campaign has shifted. They're talking much more about her father's heritage and her black identity. It doesn't really matter. The president mentioned it. What he also talks about far more frequently is the fact that Kamala Harris is the person who created this massive inflation, which is destroying black families, white families, Hispanic families. It's her failure as border czar that has left our southern border wide open, more than 10 million illegal immigrants coming into our country, record fentanyl coming into our country, which has killed more Americans than at any other point in the history of our country with respect specifically to fentanyl, and the fact that she and Joe Biden have unleashed one of the worst foreign policies in the history of our country that has us on the verge of World War III. That is Kamala Harris's record. President Trump talks about that frequently, but yes, he did mention it in Chicago in response to a question from Rachel Scott.
Damn, Byron Donalds, he's good. He is very good. He knows what's up. He knows what time it is. He knows what time it is. He knows that he got called here to do supposedly an interview to just get it like a one-up. But he knows what he's doing. He's basically saying, I don't care about that. What it really matters, and he's presenting the case. Oh, I like that.
You
I like
just
that.
repeated the slur again. If it doesn't matter, why do you all keep questioning her identity? She's always identified as a black woman. She is biracial. She has a Jamaican father and an Indian mother. She's always identified as both. Why are you questioning that?
Well, George, first of all, this is something that's actually a conversation throughout social media right now. There were a lot of people who are trying to figure this out. But again, that's a side issue, not the main issue. The main issue.
Sir, 1 second. You just did it. You just did it again.
Of the United States.
Why do you insist on questioning her racial identity?
You want me to talk?
What?
I want you to answer my question.
George, now that you're done yelling at me, let me answer. He talked about it on the stage yesterday in Atlanta for what, 2 minutes.
Man, he has that New York, like real New York street wisdom. You know what I'm saying? Like he knows these people. You don't see that this guy, the reporter, he used to just brush the floor with Republicans. He used to that. This new wave of Republican, they have a little bit of skin in the game. And I like that.
He spent more than 35, 40 minutes going after her record, talking about how radical of a senator that she was. She was the most liberal senator in the United States, in the United States Senate. That is a fact. He talked about the job that she did as vice president of the United States, a job, I will add, which has been a failure for the American people. I know you guys like to glom on to this that he talks about in jest or in a serious manner for about a minute or so, but what you do not cover is the litany of failures of Kamala Harris. That's what you're not covering, George.
So questioning somebody's racial identity for a couple minutes is okay?
Damn, this guy, bro.
George, I'm going to tell you again, he brought it up. AP is the one that wrote the headline when she first came in to the United States Senate. Didn't talk about her being black, talked about her being the first Indian American senator. AP brought that up. I mean, George, we could have this conversation for the entire segment, but none of this matters to the American people. What matters to the American people is, are we going to have the same policies of the Biden-Harris administration that has been destructive of the American people? Or are we going to have the policies of the Trump administration, which put America first, had low inflation, prosperous Americans, no matter your race, no matter your color, no matter your creed, and a foreign policy that kept America safe? Those are the facts that truly matter, because this issue is going to come and go. The lives of the American people is what's
He's
going
good.
to
Look at that.
remain, and that's what matters more than
Controlling the
anything
conversation.
else.
If it doesn't matter, I don't understand why
He's controlling that conversation, and he's getting frustrated. That's what's going on.
you keep on repeating it, why the president keeps on repeating it, why those introducing the president yesterday
George,
keep on
actually,
repeating
I'm
it.
not the one who keeps repeating it. George, you're the one that's bringing it up now.
Yeah.
That's
You've done
I
it,
understand why
sir.
you
You've
bring
done it.
up.
You've done it
Because,
3 times. Every single answer
George,
you gave me. Now let me finish, sir.
George,
Every single answer you
asked
gave, you
me-
repeated
you
the slur.
asked me, George. That's why I'm pushing back on you now. George, you
Right,
asked
and-
me the question 3 times. I responded, but I'm
And
also
every
about
single
what
time you
truly
repeat
matters
the
in this
slur.
election.
That is exactly my point. You simply can't say that it's wrong.
George, so then what you're saying, and I want to get off this topic because it's not the only thing that's going on. But George, now you're saying that AP is the one that slurred Kamala Harris, because those are the facts. You can go to the internet and look at the clips, George, if you want to, or we can talk about this now. I prefer to talk about the future of our country, because the American people are struggling. The American people do need serious policy decisions to be made, and they need serious leadership on the world stage. Kamala Harris has not proven that she can do that. Donald J. Trump has proven that he can do
Oh,
that.
that was smooth.
AP did not say.
Man, that was smooth. Oh, man. Byron Donalds for a vice president. I don't know. He's good though. Like at this point doesn't matter, but he's good. He's very good.
Say that Kamala Harris is not black. She is biracial. She is Indian. She is black. You continue to repeat the fact that you continue to repeat the slur. I don't understand why you and the president do it, but it's
He had
clear
no repeat-
you're
what?
not going to say that it's wrong, and you've now established that for our audience. Trump also said at the convention that he would
George,
pardon
all I'm gonna
January
say is
6
warning again,
rioters.
Everybody look for themselves. Let's move on.
I've already said
There
that.
you
Go
go.
On the
ahead.
internet, everybody, let's move on. There we go.
Go on and repeat the
Let's
slurs
go.
again.
Let's
Trump
go.
also said at the
The reason he said that because he needs to just destroy the. This is all about just who's controlling the conversation. We're not Jamal Police, whatever his name is. I forgot his name. He's trying to control the conversation, right? But he used to do sales. He used to work in finances. You need to have a strong command when you are working in finance. He's not ready for that. He's not ready for that.
convention that he would pardon January 6 rioters who assaulted police officers.
Look at that.
Do
January.
you support that?
Actually, what he said is that he was going to review every single case. He even repeated that again in Chicago at the NABJ. Listen, what we do understand is that the Department of Justice, under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, they did massively push up charges on people who protested at the Capitol and some who
True.
rioted at the Capitol on
True.
January 6th. So what he's talking about is doing a case-by-case review. You can lump it all together all you want, but those are the words of Donald J. Trump. I'm quite sure on the internet people can pull up that clips. They can watch it at their own leisure.
I'll read it to you right
That
now.
was
This
nice.
was Rachel Scott's question. My question is on those rioters who assaulted officers. Would you pardon those people? Oh, absolutely, I would. That's his words.
I don't know what context
Yes,
is that.
but you did not leave in was the rest of his comments where he said, "Yeah, I would, but we want to look at everything on a case-by-case basis." That's what will happen, George.
No, that's not what he said. He said if they were innocent, I would pardon them. They've all been convicted. He said he would pardon those who assaulted police officers. Do you support that or
Hold on,
not?
George, you just changed the soundbite. You just changed it. Now you added, if they're innocent, then I will pardon them. Let's go back to the record of January 6th. Again, not something that
I
matters
didn't change the
for the
soundbite. That's
American people.
exactly
Let's
what
go
he
back in time.
said. They've been convicted.
George, the first thing you said was, yes, I'll pardon them. Then you expanded.
And he
it
said
to
that.
say, if they are innocent, then yes, I will. That's what you said, George. Now I'm responding. Okay. So what he's saying is that, yeah, I will go and look at these cases. If they're innocent, yes, I will. Of course, if somebody was beating up a police officer at January 6th, he's not going to do that. But if you
It's common sense, folks. It's common sense. But what happened with the left is that they don't have a moral ground, but they just want to play politics all the time. And they're very hungry for power, folks. The left is very hungry for power. I think it's time to just really push back with these messages. And do what you can, right? I do what I can with my little videos, right? I think that they do make the difference because people can relate, right? And somebody can just watch my videos, they can relate. And I think my opinion might just help the movement. But just Republicans need to just have this kind of energy, man. He's just really killing it in this interview. Oh.
You had people who were just walking through the Capitol, which did occur on January 6th, because the security protocols had changed because of that riot at the Capitol. Then what he would do is not allow them to be held in jail with these massively increased charges by the current U.S. attorney in D.C. under the Biden-Harris administration. Compare that to the fact that at the rally that the riots that just occurred at Union Station, when Bibi Netanyahu was speaking to Congress, you had the same U.S. attorney for the District of Columbia who decided to just let people go and not file any charges, even though they were defacing monuments at Union Square. So we want to be fair with the justice system. We don't want to be political with the justice system.
My question is on those rioters who assaulted officers.
Oh,
Would
this
you
guy
pardon
doesn't
those
care.
people? Donald Trump. Oh, absolutely, I would. You wouldn't pardon those? If they were innocent, I would pardon them. That is the entire quote. They are not innocent. They are convicted. He said he would pardon them.
And George, what I'm telling you is he's going to go back and look at these cases, because it is without a doubt. And look, January 6th is a very painful memory in our country, but it is without a doubt that the U.S. attorney for the District of Columbia was supercharging these people because of
Not backing
political
down.
viewpoints. Because you had other riots that have occurred in Washington, D.C., where the charges were minimized or dismissed altogether. That is not an even-handed system of justice. That is a politically motivated system of justice. And you don't have to look any further than the difference between how the Department of Justice has treated Donald Trump versus how the Department of Justice has treated Joe Biden or Hillary Clinton. What he is talking about is equal enforcement of the law, not picking and choosing because of your politics.
I would remind you that this Department of Justice actually indicted Hunter Biden, the president's son.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. Yeah, he indicted. Oh, he's going to go to prison, right? I mean, if any regular American, did everything that Hunter Biden did in camera, oh my God, you're looking at least 10 years in prison. 10 years in prison. This guy doesn't care about that. These guys are elitists. They can't even relate with the common man.
And of course, we were talking about assaults
Only
on police
after they
officers,
didn't have a
people
choice.
who were convicted for assaults on police officers, which
Wow,
the
okay,
president
we get
said
it, bro.
he would pardon them.
We get
Thank
it.
you very much for your time.
Yeah, last word, right? You have to just come in with the last word. Let me know what you guys see in the comment section below. I would love to hear your guys' opinion. I will see you in the next one.